Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me to discuss themes and technologies that enable the stay-at-home economy, facilitated the reopening economy, and could be featured prominently in the new normal economy is Jon Maier, CIO at Global X. Jon, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me, Jill.
All right, now how are you investing around the reopening of the economy?
You know, when I think about the reopening, I also think about, what happened while we were at home. Our children were going to school at home. Many of the themes that we used when we were staying at home, like cloud computing, which is really foundational to many different technologies like cybersecurity, telemedicine, Internet of Things, and fintech, also will help carry us through as we reopen. You think about reopening, we have to engage with others. So you have to think about certain themes that will help us engage with others, like Internet of Things, sensors, managing our health and our distance with the people around us. That's one theme. Wearables, kind of keeping track of our health, certainly important as we re-engage, as well as robotics and different technology to help disinfect areas and keep us safe. That's pretty important going forward.
Well, how do you describe the new normal economy? What should we expect? Because it sounds like many of the technologies that you just mentioned are certainly going to carry us through to the new normal as well.
For sure. I mean, a lot of things that we use when we were staying at home certainly help as we re-engage. I think about when I took my son to school this morning. What did I have to do? I had to certify his health on an app. So that's an Internet of Things, the connectivity related to that concept. Also, when I went actually to school, they took his temperature. They shot him with this temperature thing. So thermal imaging, certainly very important in terms of keeping us safe, keeping us distanced prior to before a vaccine becomes available. So you saw a lot of these themes during the stay-at-home economy. As we re-engage, the reopening concept also involves a lot of these different technologies. Maybe a slight shift, but still an acceptance of those different themes that we've experienced.
So then where are you seeing opportunity within the marketplace?
So as I mentioned earlier, I think the Internet of Things, the sensors are very important. Cloud computing, also very important, and robotic technology. Now, these are themes that we've built into, these are themes that we have as ETFs. These are themes that we have built into a portfolio, a thematic portfolio. When financial advisors engage with their clients, they want to talk about what's going on right now and capitalize on that. Cloud computing, certainly one of them. Again, sensors, Internet of Things, financial technology, e-commerce, all things that are very important, things that we've learned when we were staying at home. And many of those things were happening prior to COVID, but the acceleration of during the stay-at-home economy and the re-engaging. We've learned habits, how we've ordered groceries. We go onto a certain app, we pick what we want, we save that list, and then we hit a button and it gets delivered to us. When we re-engage, don't we want to save that time that we've from that experience? I do. Certainly click a button, it gets delivered every Thursday, makes my life a lot easier, saves a couple hours of my life as well. So we've learned a lot of things during the stay-at-home economy. As we re-engage, many of those habits are going to continue.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's interesting. You made a couple of good points there. And, I've been covering the Global X model portfolios for just over 3 years now. And many of those trends that you were talking about, you already had those portfolios in place. And I would agree with you on the second point that consumer habits have certainly been accelerated. I would say, 3, 5, perhaps 10 years, and they're here to stay. And I think, the technologies that are within these portfolios are going to matter more now than ever. Think about it from what we do day to day, meeting with clients and so forth, rather than having to hop on a plane. Perhaps there's situations that can be resolved, but hey, let's hop on a Zoom in a half hour and let's figure this out. So I would agree with you. I think the hybrid environment will probably be closer to the new normal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think businesses are going to evaluate what does it make, how much should I spend money on travel, or should we have some sort of hybrid approach where certain people travel, certain meetings are taken virtually. And it's certainly going to be a mix. You can't discount the person-to-person contact, and that's going to re-engage. And we're all itching to re-engage, but I think it's a little early. Probably more towards the second quarter, likely you'll see business travel. But what we're doing right now on this virtually is not going away. It saves a lot of money.
Well, it saves a lot of money. It also saves on the carbon footprint. But think about this also. I had a guest on the other day that made a great point. When you actually get those physical meetings, perhaps they'll even be more meaningful. You know, if you get a seat at the table, you have to bring your best, because I'm sure a lot of it will be done in a virtual environment, as you had mentioned. So a lot of interesting trends to watch, that's for sure. It was great to have you with us, John. Thanks for joining me on Trade Talks.
Thanks, Jill.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.